Hello, graduates and parents. Congratulations. You've successfully finished high school. None of us could have accomplished this without help. Think about the people who've empowered you to graduate. Parents, teachers, friends, coaches, whoever. Reach out to them. Tell them exactly how much they've helped you. Heartfelt gratitude brings joy to everyone involved. For me, my parents, more than anyone else, have prepared me to live a fulfilling life. My mom has been my homeschool teacher for as long as I can remember. Because of her tireless effort, I'm ready for whatever comes. My dad has constantly been a source of wise advice and limitless capability. He continually inspires me by taking joy in everything he does. Thank you to all the teachers and staff at CEC. You have made CEC an awesome place where I've been challenged as well as cared for. I fervently hope that CEC continues to be a place where students can enjoy learning together far into the future. Even more important than learning information and getting high grades is training students in how to live well, and those lessons come through loving and forgiving us. As I've gotten older, it's become more and more clear to me that the world we live in isn't one of black and white, but instead of shades of gray. Simplistic ways of thinking about the world don't work. Life is too complicated for that. Instead, we ought to embrace the intricacies of life and learn how to skillfully navigate our world. The Bible uses the word wisdom to describe this ability to understand the nuances of a situation and choose the right course of action. Wisdom is absolutely essential to living well in our chaotic and confusing world. I believe it is quite simply the key to having a joyful and fulfilling life. The Bible states, "The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it costs you everything you have, get understanding." Before we can learn to be wise, we must recognize our desperate need for it. We must humbly admit that our current ways of thinking are inadequate and search after a greater understanding of our world. Like many of you graduates, I went to prom a couple weeks ago. And before I went, I had to get one of those flower wrist things, a corsage. Well, anyway, I went to the florist, and I'm not artistic at all. So when I was faced with the huge array of ribbons and colors and flowers, I was totally overwhelmed. And so I did what any sane person would do, and I asked for help. Now, before I could do that, I first had to recognize that my own knowledge and skills were totally insufficient. Then I had to turn to the florist in a posture of humility and ask for her advice. Wisdom is just like this. In order to grow in understanding how to live life well, we must first recognize we don't understand how the world operates and actually need to be taught how to live. The biggest obstacle to growing in wisdom is confident in our current ways of life. It is thinking that we are right and other people have nothing to teach us. Only when we can get over this attitude can we begin walking down the rewarding path of wisdom. Wisdom must be pursued actively. It doesn't just happen. You have to chase it, sacrifice for it, love it, embrace the difficult parts of life, pursue a deeper understanding of this world God has created. Don't just accept simplistic answers, instead pursue real understanding. We ought to have a holy curiosity, a burning desire to understand how God has ordered the world, designed people, and planned out the future. This drive to understand leads us to gain wisdom and so be prepared to live rich lives that brings joy to others and ourselves.